What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Joshua T Berglan, and this is Spoken Word on the World's Mayor Experience. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be the first new version of Spoken Word. Spoken Word was a broadcast that I used to do when I had our nonprofit media organization. And of course, now I'm still in media, but I'm doing something a little bit different. And you can see that at joshuatberglan.com or theworldsmayor.com. Spoken Word is a broadcast where I speak from the heart. It's some philosophy, some wisdom, some spiritual, some faith. But today is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to talk about failure. And I can speak about failure from the heart because, well, I'm an expert in failing. But as you see, failure doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me because I have found blessings in failure, lots of blessings. In fact, I got 10 foundational points on why failure is a blessing and why it's something we can be grateful for. Failure is not the end. One of the most heartbreaking experiences ever, and I want to preface this before I get into it, and saying that every time I failed, I used to think I was done, but then for some reason I wouldn't quit. Just wouldn't give up. That was something that was deep seated in me to never give up. And along the way in my life, I had lots of reasons to potentially give up. Some very, very dark things and some that were just embarrassing. And I wanted to give up, but something wouldn't let me. Now, of course, now after I turned my life around, it was the vision, the big vision that I had for my life and the vision that's in my heart. The vision, ironically, that I would see very clearly after every tragic failure or every tragic event in my life. I would see this life that was different. It was better. I was happy. I could just feel that I was in purpose. I was feeling that this is where I belong. This is what I am supposed to do. And so I didn't know the rhyme or reason for why I quit. But here's what I do know, or why I wouldn't quit. Let me rephrase that. Have I failed completely at business where I had to quit a job or get fired from a job or leave a job? Absolutely. But I didn't leave what I was doing. So, yeah, I want to preference this like not quitting. Like sometimes you have no choice to quit because you got fired or you got divorced or something else happened. What I mean is, if you believe in your heart that something's for you and you were created to do something, you're on your path to purpose, you're on your path to your destiny, you have a dream that is deep seated in your DNA and in your heart and your mind, and no matter how sick you are. I mean, I don't, is this you? Are you one of those people where you are just like you've got this big dream and it feels like you fail all the time and you just don't know how to stop? Or maybe you are at that point where you are ready to quit, you are ready to give up. What have I gotten myself into? I'm going to get into all of those things, but I want you to be encouraged today. If you're somebody that you understand that there is something bigger for you out there, do not quit. Do not give up, no matter what it feels like. And it feels like hell. There are times that it feels like hell. There are times that it feels like the scariest thing that you will ever go through in your life. And everything is falling apart around you. You believe in what you're doing, but no one else does. You believe, but your wife doesn't, your partner doesn't, your husband doesn't. They've given up. When are you going to bring in money? When are you going to do this? You should quit. You need to go get a day job. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be that is nagging at you to quit. Don't quit. Don't give up. And there's a reason why. Let's get into it. Failure is a learning opportunity. Failure provides invaluable lessons. It's often, though, failure that through failure, that we gain insights into what went wrong and why. This knowledge is crucial for future decision making and problem solving. It listen, it can't be a learning opportunity unless if you remember it. You got to remember how you failed. What did it feel like? What were you doing? And then reposition from there. Taking notes, keeping a journal, all of these things are very, very, very valuable. Like for me, I'll give you an example. One of the ways that I fail over and over and over again is building an independent media machine. I've tried over and over and over again. And along the way, get going where I have one platform and get kicked off. Start another platform, get my momentum going, get kicked off because, I'm a truth teller. So some people don't like the truth. Anyway, doesn't matter. The fact is this, that was someone else's platform and they had the right to kick me off. So I'm not mad. I'm not jealous. It wasn't my platform. This is why I built my own platform. But here's the thing, there's failure in creating my own platforms because you have to have a budget to market, right? And so sometimes you try a strategy, sometimes you try a system, sometimes you do all the right SEO and you still don't really get anywhere. What do? You keep going, you try. What did you do last time? What wasn't working? What was working? For me, I had to make a decision recently. I've had 6 different podcasts. My first podcast was a huge success. After getting kicked off social media, all of the new ventures I started struggled. Just being honest with you. Like it is. And I didn't have the money to pay for advertising to ramp things back up. So I had to go the organic approach. So just recently, I'm looking at the podcast. I'm going, okay, I've got all this amazing technology. I've got all this amazing SEO. I've got everything is on point, but I'm not gaining traffic. Why is that? Okay. And then I look at my YouTube. I'm monetized on YouTube. What kind of numbers am I doing? Ugh. Is it really worth using YouTube? And I have 100 SEO. Everything's done exactly the way they ask, and I'm still not moving the way that I want to accomplish my goals. Do I stay there and beat my head against the wall? No, you don't. You pivot and you change. So I went out exploring to find something new. Now, did I quit? Well, I quit using a lot of the old technologies and distribution platforms and other things. Yeah. What did I do? I started self hosting again. I found a new technology that I love. I'm using Muse.ai. I love the deep SEO features of it. I love the platform that I've built my website on, my own new version of Media Company in a Box. And we're trying something else, not quitting, not giving up on the dream, just pivoted and changed, learning from mistakes. The other thing that failure can do is build your resilience. Build your resilience. If you win all the time, are you going to know how to lose? Are you going to know how to lose? What happens the first time you face any type of defeat? What happens the first time things don't go perfect for you? What are you going to do? How are you going to react? Struggle, failure, embarrassment. It builds resentment. It builds resilience. It builds resilience. Betrayal builds resilience. Facing failure helps build resilience. It teaches us how to bounce back from setbacks, developing emotional strength and mental fortitude in the face of adversity. Another thing, innovation and creativity. One of my favorite things to get into when I discuss innovation and creativity is the third door philosophy. So let me explain the third door. I believe that I'm the king of the third door. And what does that mean? Okay, so imagine a nightclub, okay? Imagine South Beach, wherever you're watching to the world, like wherever your big clubs, VIP, the banging parties, like whatever, wherever. Okay, so you're looking at the club, and what do you see? You see the line, right? You see everyone waiting. You see the guy and the girl there, and you see the girls. Of course, the girls usually get into the VIP. Of course, if it's a gay club, maybe not. But anyway, that's another conversation. So they're all in line, right? They're waiting in line, waiting to get in, waiting to pay their $30 to get in, or whatever the price is now. I haven't been to a club in a long time. I've kind of aged out of that. Anyway, but then you have the VIP line. Guys coming through. Here you go, bouncer. Here's a 50. Put the 50 in your pocket. I didn't have any cash. I was using the phone. There, it doesn't matter. I slip it in, give him the money. I go through. Thanks for letting me in. Or maybe I was on the list. Hey, I'm with the DJ. Who is it with the DJ? I'm with the DJ. And then, what's your name? Bob. Okay, then you get the VIP, but it's not really the VIP. It's the lower grade VIP because some clubs have the yeah, there's different levels to everything. But nonetheless, you got the people waiting in line, you got the VIP line. That's one door, two door. What's the third door? You ever seen the movie Goodfellas? When Ray Lolita is like going through, he's got his date, and he's grooving through the, he's going through the kitchen sink. Yeah, so he's going in. There was not house music playing in the kitchen. It was probably like Sinatra. They didn't have house music when Goodfellas. Never mind. So, okay, but Ray Lolita goes in through the kitchen, goes to the back door, all the way through the kitchen. And then he walks to the front, sits in the front row with his date. That's the third door. The third door philosophy, there's a book about it, but that's the way I like to describe it. When you don't have the money to do things the way that other people do it, what are you going to do? You're going to say no? Well, you can try alternatives. Sometimes volunteering and serving is a way. So you don't have the money to get to the event. Volunteer to serve, volunteer to be part of the support staff. It's amazing what you can do. And it's amazing what can happen when you just volunteer. I would say that 90% of what I learned in media initially happened through volunteering. Doing the work that no one else wanted to do, sometimes falling into the right place at the right time also happened. My first, the ESPYs, the daytime Emmys, the Emmy Awards, all of those events, like it happened because I showed up and volunteered, and then that just opened the doors to many other things. But facing failure helps build resilience. Innovation and creativity. Many groundbreaking inventions and ideas have arisen from failed attempts. Failure encourages us to think outside the box, explore new approaches, and innovate, leading to unexpected and creative solutions. Prime example, using AI, using a chat GPT. Sometimes you can ask it a question and it doesn't give you the answer you want. So you got to change up your question, change up your question, change up your question, change up your question. It's the same thing when dealing with people. If you're not getting the answers you're looking, change your question. If you're not getting the answers you're looking for, change up the question. Humility and empathy. This is another amazing learning opportunity that failure brings. Empathy. One of the best things that I could ever say to another entrepreneur is this: you're not always going to struggle, and you're not always going to be successful. You're going to have failure. But when you're struggling and failing, how does it feel when you're asking for help or you're asking for wisdom and the people are not there for you? They ignore you, they reject you. It freaking sucks, especially if you're one of those people that are there for others. You're there for them. When they were struggling, you gave the handout. And look, I don't think giving handouts is necessarily the right way to do things, but what I do suggest is this: any way that you can help a fellow entrepreneur or somebody that is needing your help, sometimes it's wisdom, sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's just listening, sometimes it is giving them a loan. But failure happens to all of us. And if we let failure happen to us and let it teach us what it wants to teach us, well, then we can have more empathy for other people when they're failing or when they're struggling. Experiencing failure fosters humility. It reminds us of our imperfections and help us empathize with others who are going through similar challenges. The empathy can strengthen relationships and build a supportive community. Sharing your struggles, and I'm not talking about bathing in your sorrows, but what I am saying is this: truth attracts your tribe. I'm not talking about being boastful or being a jerk or throwing pity parties, but truth will attract your tribe. Talk about your journey, share it. Other people have been there. You'll never know who's going to hear it and say, "Oh, I just went through that. I got some advice for you." Or, "Oh my gosh, I'm going through that too. You're not alone." I got buckets of stories like that for me. And if you've ever read my book, The Devil Inside Me, or seen my movie, that I had some struggles and I needed some people. And you know what? I had a lot of pride and not a lot of humility, and I didn't ask for help for a long time. And I struggled with it. I definitely didn't have empathy, and I'm so grateful that I have learned to have empathy over the years, and I'm not great at it. I'm not great at having empathy, but I'm getting there. And I typically don't have much sympathy for other people unless if they just can't help themselves or they don't know that they can help themselves. But I struggle there. And it's something that I'm working on. But as I've become, more capable of love and loving, because it's something that I work on, thank God for that opportunity. And thank God for the people in my life that I get to love and practice on. But like this was an exercise, and a lot of people really struggle with humility and empathy. Failure, failing at relationships, failing at being a parent, failing at your job, failing at an experiment, failing at a business launch, failing at whatever your goal is. Let it give you empathy. Let it give you humility. Let it help you. Fear reduction. The fear of failure often holds us back from taking risk. Embracing failure reduces this fear, enabling us to pursue our goals with greater confidence. It teaches us that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone towards success. Fear is a lie. Fear is a gross, disgusting lie. And I mean, look, something's on fire, you don't put your hand there. Like there's certain things that, you know, like, man, maybe you shouldn't do that. But a lot of the fear that we get built up in our head about trying stuff, let me tell you this: every obstacle that comes in our path, we were created to overcome. Every giant we face, every a giant could be addiction. A giant could be just a struggle. It could be a mental illness. It could be whatever. We are created to overcome. We are creative to face those giants, defeat them, and become bigger than that giant. That's what I believe with all my heart. So I think fear is a liar. And at the same time, a lot of the things that we fear, sometimes fear is telling the truth. Sometimes fear is saying, "Hey, I'm a drug addict," or "Hey, I'm a sex addict," or "Hey, I struggle with relationships," or "Hey, whatever it may be." Just being honest about that and stepping into that fear and being honest may unleash a huge wave of awesomeness and opening up new pathways and bringing new people into your life. It may get rid of some people. Some other people may run away from you, but it will open the doors for more to come to you. Truth attracts your tribe. Building character is another learning opportunity. Overcoming failure builds character and integrity. It showcases our ability to preserve, demonstrating our commitment and determination to ourselves and others. Reevaluation and growth is another learning opportunity. Failure prompts self reflection. It encourages us to reevaluate our goals, methods, and priorities. This introspection can lead to personal and professional growth as we make necessary adjustments and improvements. Appreciation of success. Success is sweeter when it's achieved after overcoming failure. It's true. It's it's so true because if you're always winning, how would you ever appreciate winning? I just don't think you could. Failure provides contrast, helping us appreciate our achievements and milestones even more. It gives context to our successes, making them more meaningful. Another learning opportunity is it will break stereotypes. Failure challenges societal stereotypes and norms. Embracing failure, especially in the face of adversity and prejudice, can break barriers and inspire others to pursue their dreams despite obstacles. I love this one. Failure challenges societal stereotypes and norms. Embracing failure, especially in the face of adversity and prejudice, can break barriers and inspire others to pursue their dreams despite obstacles. Our whole mission, my whole mission at the World's Mayor Experience is to not just be a voice for the voiceless and to elevate the voices for the voiceless and equip the voiceless so they can have a voice, but it's also to provide the tools that are necessary for them to be able to go in and break those generational cycles of addiction, of poverty, of divorce, of mental illness, and beyond. Because I believe if media is used the right way, and new media, this is my favorite thing to teach, and it's what I'm most passionate about because of what new media has afforded me to do. I would never have been a best-selling author or an award-winning filmmaker or any of that without what I learned in new media. And I did it with no money. I did it with no money. You can too. It just that those are facts. If I can do it, you can do it. And the good news is I've made so many mistakes that I have perfected this formula that works. And again, the formula I have is customized, but I really do have it down on what works, what won't, what will work with what, why you should avoid this, why you should avoid that. And I'm saying this, even though I walked away from doing a podcast, guess what? Doesn't mean you should. It depends on what your goals are. And this is why trial and error and figuring things out is not a bad thing. It's not bad to go down to take a path and go, it's a dead end. Maybe I should turn around and go the other way. Not a bad thing. It's not. It's absolutely not. Okay. Appreciation of success is a learning opportunity. Breaking stereotypes. We talked about that. And the last one, it encourages taking calculated risk. You want to see God, the creator, work miracles in your life every day? Do something each day that stretches your faith. You will see miracles every day if you do something each day that stretches your faith. Knowing that failure is a natural part of any journey encourages people to take calculated risk. It promotes a culture of experimentation and exploration, fostering innovation and progress. Take calculated risk. Let go, let God. You've heard those sayings before. The blessing is in the breaking. I can assure you, the heartbreak that you may feel from whatever loss or whatever struggle or wherever that you have just fallen short, that breaking, that heartbreak will lead to your blessing. Divorce, cheated on, heartbroken, it will lead to a blessing. Let your failure teach you. Let your failure guide you. Don't let your failure cripple you because that's not what it's for. It's an ugly perception. Everything is working out for your good. Everything is working out in your favor, but you definitely have to move forward in faith. Surrender your failures. Surrender the things that you're hanging on to that no longer belong to you. Failure, addiction, bad relationships, those don't belong to you. Surrender them, let them go. So what that you failed? Learn from it and move on. This is Spoken Word. My name is Joshua T Berglan, and you are watching on the World's Mayor Experience. Thank you so much for being here. See you again soon. Bye bye.